Hey, what's going on, folks? It's your boy Dillon Alexander again with another episode of the Typical Misfit podcast. It is June 9th, 2017, and it has been like a month since the last episode. I just want to say I apologize for the 2 or 3 people who probably were expecting me to do this shit weekly, because that's what I said I was going to do. But, you know, life happens, man. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with this shit. Listen, I don't even know how many people viewed my first one. It's probably like 10 people, maybe 20 at the max. Nah, probably not even that. I'm hyping. It's probably like 10 people. So I don't really give a fuck right now. Maybe in a year from now I'll take it way more serious. But right now I'm just fucking, I'm dabbling in this shit. So just bear with me. If you fucking with me, you really want to see me do this shit, just bear with a nigga. Alright? Like I said, a lot of shit's been happening the past month. First of all, like right after I did the first episode, that's when I got hired at this job. And you know how it is, man, when you get a new job, especially when you haven't had a job for a minute and you get this new job and they schedule you all crazy. They put you on with these hours you don't really fucking agree with. So, and then I have fucking stand up at night. I'm busy with that. Talking to this girl, this girl I'm talking to, kind of with, I don't know what the fuck, we're on and off. There's a lot of drama with her. So it's like, I got all this shit, that's been taking up my time and my fucking mental space. So it's kind of hard to like sit down and then on top of that, I got excuses for days, but on top of that, I got roommates, and I don't feel comfortable doing a podcast when motherfuckers are, next door in these thin ass walls and they can listen to what the fuck I'm saying. And they're, one of my roommates is a teacher, so it's June, so there's no school right now for that motherfucker. So that nigga's home all the time, so it's hard to like find a time to just have some privacy where I can just speak my fucking mind. He's here right now, but I don't really give a fuck. I'm not gonna speak too loud. I don't want motherfuckers on my conversation. So I'm like, fuck it, let's just do this shit. I'm bored. I ain't doing nothing right now. And yeah, so here we are, episode number 2. How you guys been, man? I got no feedback, no comments on the first video. Of course, this is good. This is the fucking embryo stage of whatever the fuck I'm trying to do with this podcast shit. So I'm enjoying it. I'm glad. I'm actually happy nobody's looking at this shit, because I know it's not super entertaining, but fuck it, I'm just giving you guys an insight on my life. That's really the only purpose of this shit right now, is just to give you guys like a background behind the scenes of what the fuck I'm doing, So hopefully you fucking with it. If not, fucking leave. Get out of here. Just don't dislike my video, please. I beg you. And yeah, SoundCloud. I'll put this shit on SoundCloud too. I gotta get better with all this technology shit. I gotta like make a website. Oh my god. But I'm waiting for me, man. Right now, like I said, well, let's just backtrack, man. Let's go to the job. The job was this valet company. I'm not gonna say the name of them. Okay, Town Park is the name of them. Some fucking valet company, right? Got hired as a valet driver to work for the Marriott here in Houston, downtown. It was dope. I don't work there no more. I got let go because basically I got let go for I wasn't putting all the tips in the tip jar. Okay, I'd not steal. I just wouldn't give all the tips. Like, the way it works is you're supposed to basically, okay, you get paid minimum wage, right, plus tips, which turns out to be what, it averages out to what, $12 to $13 an hour maybe, right? And that's cool, man. But like, I remember my first week working there when I actually did the right thing. I put all of my tips in a fucking tip pool. And, you know, after 8 hours of work, I got $50. No, it was $49 on my first day. You know, I was being a good little boy. I put all the tips in the tip jar. So I'm like, fuck, I made $7.50 an hour plus 49. I worked 8 hours today. What's that? That's like 50 plus 50. That's $100 in a day. I guess that's cool, but I just wasn't satisfied with that. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I got shit to pay. I got bills to pay like the rest of us. I'm trying to buy a car, you know. So, you know, for the next few weeks, I'm like, fuck it. Like, I'll put some tips in the tip pool, but like, if I see a bill $5 and over, I'm keeping that bitch to myself. Like, there's no point, you know. So I did that for a few weeks. It was nice. I was getting paid pretty good. Saved up some good money, but eventually, on this one particular day, I just got a little fucking crazy with it, and I was just, you know, keeping like basically all the tips, and I'd like pretend to put it in the tip jar, but then I'd fucking like do a little magic trick with my hand where I just pretend and then put it, you know, put it in my pocket real quick. Boom. It's just bad, man. You know, they caught me, and I don't give a fuck. I knew going in, I knew that eventually I was gonna get caught, and I really didn't want to work that fucking job either way. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep doing this shit till they catch me, and that's what happened. They caught me, so here I am. But I got a job interview Monday. I got like 3 job interviews Monday, so I don't really give a fuck. Shout out to AT&T and Sprint. About to be working with these cell phone companies. Yeah, so if you didn't graduate from college and you're looking to make some decent money, I'm gonna just tell you, man, just work with a cell phone company, bro. Like, first of all, it's so easy. Like, if you're like 20 to 35, even 40, and you know how to use a cell phone, like, just work with a cell phone. It's easy, you know. It's so easy because like those jobs pay you a decent base pay, like what, 10, 11, 12 an hour, plus commission. You get like a little commission for all your sales, whether it be, you know, from fucking from cell phone plan sales to goddamn accessory sales to selling cell phones. Like, you get fucking little commissions off that shit. And I worked with Metro PCS last year, about a year and a half. Dude, I saved so much money. Like, oh my God. I'm like, and that's a prepaid service, you know? So, and I made a lot of money like last year with that job. So if I can get this AT&T or Sprint, like, I'm good, you know? I don't have a wife or kids. Like, I'm gonna stack up. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm ready. But yeah, man, Monday. What's today? Today is Friday. So yeah, I'll let you guys know next week. I'm gonna try to record. Like I said, I know I said it before. I'm gonna try to record every week. I just gotta commit to it, you know. I just been bullshitting, man, letting life get to me. I just gotta be fucking disciplined with this shit and just stick to a schedule. You know, maybe every Friday. I don't know. I ain't doing shit, or whatever my schedule lets me do. Just do it once a week. So I'm gonna try to get on that shit. But anyways, yeah. So fuck that damn job, valet driving. You know, this shit was crazy. Cause like the job, like the people I was working with, like half of them worked their ass off, and the other half was just fucking piggybacking off of the rest of us. And I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you guys. I was actually busting my ass. Like I made sure that every time a car was requested, I fucking ran to go get the car and bring that bitch up, you know. And, you know, in my mind, I used that as a justification to pocket a couple tips, you know what I mean? I didn't fucking steal a whole lot. I just took a couple, paid myself for the effort. Fuck it, why not? But anyways, I'm glad they fired me because I really didn't want to do that shit. It was crazy. Like, all the dudes that worked there just looked... It's basically a bunch of 19 to 27-year-olds. All of us were skinny as fuck. A bunch of skinny-ass motherfuckers. Because we're running. You know, we're running and we're barely getting paid. We're barely getting fed. it was bad, man. It's weird. Coming into a job, like in the first day or first week, if this shit's gonna last. Like, if this shit is gonna work out or not. You know what I mean? Just by looking at the manager, you can tell if this shit is worth it. The manager just looks. You can just look at his fucking, look at his hairline. Look at his hairline. Look at his skin. Is he red? Is his hairline fucking far back and just atrocious looking? If so, get the fuck out of there, okay? Because that's gonna be you in 10 years. Get the fuck out of there. But anyways, I don't even look at jobs for like 10 years. I don't look at like, oh, I'm gonna be here for 10 years. It's like I use jobs just to pay my bills for right now while I work on my comedy shit, and eventually, there's like a transition that I eventually expect to happen where, I'm like, okay, I'm getting paid a little bit more with this comedy shit, so I can probably quit my job. There's like that perfect middle point where you just finally say, all right, I'm done with the fucking 9 to 5. I'm doing this shit for real. So just got a friend request on Facebook. Shout out to whoever the fuck that is. Hopefully it's not a catfish. But yeah, hopefully, man, you get to that point where you're just like, all right, I'm doing what the fuck I love to do. And you can kiss all that bullshit, desperation, 9 to 5 shit goodbye for the rest of your life. I'll get to that point. I'm very patient, Right now, just working, just fucking stacking. I'm good. Like, I could literally not work for like 2 months. I could not work for like 4 months and be fine and pay for groceries and shit. Like, I'm good. Like I said, I saved a lot of money from last year for working with Metro. So shout out to Metro PCS, man. I actually, that's my cell phone company. They're fucking cheap. It's basically like having T-Mobile. They use the same fucking network, but it's like half as cheap. You know what I mean? Why not? I got an iPhone 7. I'm balling, guys. I'm doing it. I'm doing it out here. But yeah, man, a lot of shit. Yeah, man. This comedy shit's going all right. I got a show actually tomorrow, Saturday, the 10th of June. If you're seeing this right now and you're in Houston, man, come out. It's at PJ's Sports Bar. $5 a ticket. Everybody else selling them for 10. I'll sell them for 5. I don't give a fuck. I just want people to come. You know what I mean? I just want you to see me tell these shitty jokes, and hopefully, hopefully you fuck with me. I'm just trying to build a fan base, man. That's all it is. I don't really give a fuck about money. Like I don't get comedians that are like that nobody knows about that are trying to make like real money off of tickets that, like this temporary money. Like, you can probably sell a good amount, sure, but like what's more important is like building a fan base for later down the road when you're really fucking worth something and you really have 2-3 hours of material in your back pocket. Okay, that's when you're fucking like, okay, you remember me from back then? Yeah, remember when my tickets were like $3, $5? You remember that? Well, guess the fuck what? I'm balling now, nigga. Let's go. $20 a pop, $30 a pop. But nah, man, I don't think I'll ever go over 20. I think 20 is like, that's when I know I made it. When I can sell tickets for $20 and not feel a little bad for it. And just like, that's how much I'm worth. Like, pay me, motherfucker. Come on out. I got some good shit. But right now, $5, man, $5, I got like maybe 10 minutes of material total, And you guys probably looking like, oh my God, dude, you've been doing stand-up for how long? A year and some change? And you only have 10 minutes of material? Listen, it's hard. And I'm talking about 10 minutes of like non-stop solid material. Not that fucking like 10 minutes of fucking, pandering to the crowd, fucking hacky shit that everybody else goes to. Hey, how you doing, folks, huh? How about that, huh? All that bullshit. No, man, it's solid material. So like, 10 minutes, $5. I don't even know if I'm gonna do that much material tomorrow, but come on out, man. It's gonna be fun. We got like what, 5 comedians that night. So it should be fun, man. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah. Big shout out to Houston comedy scene. It's pretty dope, man. A lot of love. A lot of these comics showing love out here. I can't even complain. You know, coming from Tampa, that comedy scene was cool. Like, they showed love, but like I just felt like there was a lot of barriers out there, man. I just felt like there's a certain point where I wasn't gonna get past. Like, I'd have to stay there for like 3 or 4 years to have them take me serious, and I'm like, if I stay here for 3 or 4 years, I'm not really gonna go nowhere, because there's not a whole lot of mics to hit to really develop. You know what I mean? As a comedian, man, it's hard when there's like, 2 mics a night at the most. I need like 3. If I can hit 3 a night, I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna get better. So, shout out to Houston, but shout out to Tampa, man. Tampa's a little small scene, but it's got a little something, man. It's just weird to think about, like, to go back and think, like, why the fuck did I start in Tampa? I could have started anywhere. I could have started in Houston and been like already like way more than what I am, you know? It's weird. I go back, like, I don't know if I talked about this in the last episode, but I started like, basically this whole shit started after I realized I did not really want to graduate college. I really didn't want the degree that I set out to get, which was kinesiology, because I wanted to be a physical therapist, but I didn't really want to do that. Like, before physical therapy, I wanted to like be a psychologist, but then for whatever dumb reason, my freshman year of college, I'm like, I looked up, I just looked up the salary of like the different psychology based jobs, and I'm like, there's not really a lot of money in this shit. It's like $50,000 a year, maybe $60,000 at the most if you get your master's. And I'm just thinking, like, what the fuck? I gotta get a bachelor's plus a master's to get $60,000 a year, maybe 70 if I'm just a phenomenal psychologist. And I'm like, nah, fuck that. Cause when you're young, and you're a fucking guy, and you want to impress bitches, your main focus is like, I want to make $100,000 at least a year, at least, right? Because you want to impress bitches. You want to fucking like buy a Mercedes. You want to fucking do all this shit. Right? So I'm like, alright, fuck. What else do I like to do? Oh, I like anatomy. I like the human body. I like fucking sports. Like I was big into sports back then, Still kind of am. But I was like, fuck it, man. Let me just go ahead and do physical therapy. That's a pretty decent job. You help people get better. After the doctors already did their job, you're helping them recover, get back to their full functioning self, right? So I'm like, fuck it, let me go ahead and do this shit. So I did that shit for a little while, went to school. It was like what? I'm like, what, 3 years in to college? About 3 years in, man. I flunked the whole semester out in Auburn. I flunked the whole semester, right? So the following semester, I was, they basically told me, hey, listen, you flunked the whole semester, my guy. So what we need from you is at least like a 2.5 to like 2.8 GPA. We need you to make at least 2.5, something like that, GPA in order to keep attending this school, all right? So the following semester, I had fucking physics. I had this history fucking class that I hated. I don't even remember, some other shit, just like literature. Basically a bunch of shit I was not interested in at all, which is basically every college is gonna make you take some type of classes that you don't really fuck with like that, but you got to take them because it's part of the requirements for your degree, right? So the following semester, I made like a 2.4 GPA because I just didn't give a fuck. I didn't care enough. I was I was trying to enjoy college, man. I was partying, man. I was having a blast, actually. It was like the best semester ever, my last semester. And by the end of the semester, I get my fucking final GPA. It's 2.3. I get a letter in the mail saying, hey, congrats. You are on academic probation. Which basically means, okay, so this semester coming up, you can't attend classes, okay, because you fucked up too much, right? So I'm like, fuck. Like, fuck. Right? So, okay, so this is like what? The fucking, this is the, this is like the fall semester of 2013, right? Fall semester of 2013, I fucked up. I'm like, fuck. So now going into spring of 2014, I can't go to class. I'm fucked. Right? Now I gotta let my parents know. You know, that was dreadful. You know, sitting out in the back porch just fucking crying like a little bitch. You know? Like, fuck. Like, I wasted my parents' money. There's nothing worse. Nothing worse than your parents just spent a couple grand for you to be this all-you-can-be ass nigga, and here you are dicking off, right? So I'm like, fuck. So this is 2014. This is like, you know, I stayed in Auburn for like a few months. I want to say till like May. You know, I'm just working. I'm just fucking out there not doing shit. I got fired from a job because they tried to make me work this 12-hour shift. I didn't want to do that. Fuck you, Advanced Auto Parts. Fuck you, right? So I get fired from that job. Boom. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing in Auburn? This is stupid. Let me get the fuck out of here. And I was like, man, fuck it. I'm just like, I moved back home up to Huntsville, Alabama, where my family's at. And I was like, fuck it. Like, let me just go ahead and get a job up here, work a couple part-time jobs till I figure out what the fuck I want to do. And that's just the whole thing. It's a long story. I don't really want to go too much into it, but basically that summer I just stacked up a little cash, right? And I just made a decision, like, dude, I'm like, fuck school. Like, this is stupid. I'm wasting time trying to wait around to attend again. Like, I just decided, fuck it, I'm done. Like, and then my parents freaked the fuck out. Like, what? You're done with school? Are you crazy? You need a degree. You need it. You need this thing, this piece of paper, right? How parents are. You know, I get it. They want the best for the little baby and shit. But look, this shit ain't working out for me. I'm not really a fan of the school shit. So, saved a little cash. In the meantime, I'm just watching YouTube videos and just trying to figure out who the fuck I am and what the fuck I want to do with the rest of my life, right? And I don't know what it was. It was just probably a couple YouTube videos. I'm just looking up some like philosophical shit because I'm into philosophy and, you know, into like humanity. And this is around the time where I was like into conspiracies and just figuring out that the fucking government really doesn't give a fuck about us like I thought they did, right? You know. And then I stumble upon, like, you know, the Federal Reserve. Oh, the Federal Reserve is it's the bank that runs the world. You know, it's, you know, that's where dollars are made from and shit. And, you know, my mind's fucking exploding because I'm like, dude, the world is not what I thought it was. Like, so I'm like, fuck it. Like, I don't give a fuck at this point. I'm just gonna fucking do whatever. I'm gonna just do whatever the fuck I really want to do. Do something that I love, right? Like, who gives a fuck? Like, you're gonna die. Might as well do what the fuck you want to do. Because everybody else is doing it, so why not, right? And that's when I stumbled upon Russell Brand. Fuck, my AC just went off. And now it's quiet in this bitch. And now I know motherfuckers can hear my conversation. Hey, hold on real quick. I'm gonna turn the AC fucking down. Because I don't want motherfuckers in my conversation. Alright, give me a second. Just wait. Alright, give me a second. Hold on. sorry, guys. I apologize. Jesus Christ. Very unprofessional. I'm sorry. But listen. It's just annoying. I don't want to fucking... You know what I mean? That's what I hate about living with fucking people, right? You gotta share a room. Share a house. And then, motherfuckers are all up in your shit. Motherfuckers don't clean. It's not fun. But anyways, where the fuck was I at? Oh yeah. Yeah, so that's when I stumbled upon fucking Russell Brand. Right? So this Russell Brand cat, very interesting. I've heard of Russell Brand, right? I didn't really know he was a comedian. I just knew he was on MTV, some type of award show, and he's dating Katy Perry. I'm like, fuck. Like, I stumbled upon this video of him, like, just talking about, what was he talking about? Like, philosophy, spirituality. That's the fucking thing, right? Talking about spirituality. And I'm like, this fucking guy is amazing. Like, this guy is so cool. He doesn't do any drugs. But yet he's like full of energy in his mind. He's just fucking talking and just fucking going. And I'm like, what the fuck is this guy all about? And I watch his stand-up special. And it's just so interesting. Like, he's not the funniest guy ever, but he's pretty funny. And, then he got me thinking. I'm just looking up other stand-up comedians. George Carlin. I look him up, and I'm like, fuck. And I run into Joe Rogan, and I fucking that's when I went over the hill. I ran into Joe Rogan, and I got into his podcast, and just started. It was weird because, like, I remember his videos. I remember looking at his podcast, and it was like, it would say at the bottom, 3 hours, right? 3 hours for a whole entire podcast. I started by watching, like, clips of his shit, right? I'd watch, like, a clip of him just talking about motivation or, just, what the fuck, like, diet. He'd just be talking about shit. It was like a 10-minute clip, and I'd be like, oh, fuck. Like, it really caught my attention. And then he'd be talking to, like, Duncan Trussell, fucking Joey Diaz, and slowly I started fucking, like, really getting into it. I'm like, holy shit, like, this is awesome. These guys, and guess what? Guess what all these guys have in common? You ready? They're fucking comedians, man. All of them. Duncan Trussell, Joey Diaz, Joe Rogan, fucking Ari Shaffir, all these motherfucking Death Squad motherfuckers. And I'm just like, yo, this is the coolest shit. And slowly I'm just like, I'm getting into all of their podcasts, right? So I'm getting into these niggas' podcasts. I'm like, fuck, like, and I'm slowly like just listening to them and just seeing their perspective of, like, they're just talking about comedy. They're talking about their fucking the come up, talking about the struggle of just trying to get good at comedy, and and then there's a point in time where this overall common denominator with comedy was, like, they all agreed on it, was that if you really want to do this comedy shit, it's going to take at least 10 years to get to where you can, like, get paid for this shit, right? 10 years before you start seeing some real pay. Most people would probably be fucking terrified. They're like, I'm out. What the fuck? I'm not doing 10 years. What the fuck? That's stupid. I'm not going to wait 10 years to try to make some money, to make, like, what, $30,000 a year? I'm going to wait 10 years to make $30,000, $40,000 a year? Are you crazy? But, man, I don't know what the fuck it was. But it just stuck with me. I'm like, I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, I don't care how long it takes. Like, I want to do that shit. Just because the whole lifestyle of it just appealed to me. Like, just the fact you can travel the country and just fucking building something, man. Building something from nothing. Just the fact that you have to earn that shit. Like, I don't know why the fact that it takes 10 years didn't turn me off. But, like, trying to get a fucking master's degree for, a bachelor's and then a master's would probably take like 6 years, and you're going to make way more money, pretty much almost guaranteed, taking that route was like, ugh, I don't want to do that. Like, fuck that. Because what you're doing for a living is not as appealing as telling fucking jokes. Like, you tell jokes, and then you can probably get a podcast, like what I'm fucking doing now. Like, you can get a podcast on the side. You know what I mean? All that shit fucking appealed to me. I'm like, holy fuck, like, I could do that. Like, I'm not the funniest nigga ever, but I've been funny, man. Like, a lot of people probably from high school probably wouldn't think so, because I was kind of quiet in high school, man. I moved a lot, man, so I'm not, it's weird. When you move a lot, man, you start to realize it gets harder. As you get older, it gets harder to get comfortable every time you move, depending on who you are, right? I'm the type of guy, I'm envious of people who lived in one city their whole life. Like, I'm envious of that shit, because you know people. Like, I remember my brother right here. I remember this nigga, man. He was back in 4th grade, man. We used to joke around, blah, blah, blah. Now we graduated high school, man. Look at us now, man. We all grown, blah, blah, blah. Not me. Like, it would be like, boom. It started in, like, 3rd grade, right? My dad joined the Army again. Boom, I'm in 3rd grade in Houston, Texas. Boom, start of 4th grade, off to Germany, nigga. Let's go. Right, 4th grade to 7th grade, I'm in Germany having a blast. Germany was amazing. Boom, 7th grade, so the end of 7th grade, that summer before 8th grade, boom, back to Texas, right? Back to Fort Hood, Killeen, Texas, right? So now I'm in 8th grade. I don't know nobody. You're fucking what is that, like what was it, 13, 14? I was about 14. I don't know nobody. This shit sucks. I know, like, my stepbrother, and then I meet some of his friends, and it's like, all right, cool. You slowly develop again, and then boom, you got to move again. Moving in the middle of your 9th grade year, so from 8th grade to 9th grade and a half, boom, off to Virginia, right? So the middle of my freshman year of high school, fuck, right? I just got comfortable. Move again, boom. So I'm in Virginia, and that was cool. I liked Virginia. It took me a little adjusting. That 9th grade, I didn't talk to nobody, man. I didn't know fucking nobody, bro. Like, that shit was bad. At lunch, I would sit with people that I barely, that I would see around. I would just sit at the end of the table, just to seem like I was sitting with people, but I didn't fucking talk to nobody. It was bad, man. That shit sucked. But yeah, I had to wait till 10th grade to play football, because that was my shit. Got on the football team. That's when I started, okay, I'm making friends. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So 10th grade's cool. 11th grade, getting a little better, getting a little bit, getting some muscles. Bitches are starting to pay attention to me. Still quiet. I was quiet through all high school. I didn't give a fuck. I played video games and played football, man. I didn't give a fuck about shit, right? So yeah, 12th grade hits. 12th grade is cool. I'm finally a decent motherfucker. People know me a little bit. Boom, I got some muscles. I got a girlfriend and shit. Great, cool, right? And then yeah, move to college. Move out to FAU my freshman year. Boom, Florida. And then I moved to Auburn. It's a long story, but why the fuck did I go into that? I think it's just basically like I'm just used to moving around. There's something in me that just, like, I've always had, like, I've been funny. I remember I've always been funny. It's just, I just didn't know how to, like, I don't know. I just decided, man, fuck it. Like, after college, after I knew I didn't really want this degree shit, I'm like, man, fuck it, man. Let me just go ahead and just save some money up. I didn't have a lot of money either. I had probably like $1,200 to my name, and I just moved to Tampa, which, like, now I would never do that because that's fucking stupid. But at the time, I'm like, I got $1,200. Like, oh, that's a lot of money. Like, I'm good. All right, I paid for my first month rent, and then boom, I got $1,200 to my name. And then I found a job within a week. I found a job within 2 days moving down there. So that was like knock on wood. That was luck, by the grace of God, whatever the fuck, universe, whatever you believe in. God was looking out. So that was cool. Stayed in Tampa. Yeah, so I stayed there about 2 years. So that's 2014, October 2014. That's when I moved out there. And I did my first stand-up set January fucking 14th, 2015. My first set, I did like 3 sets. And then I met this girl. And I met her and I'm like, fuck, like, I'll put this stand-up shit on hold for like a year. You know, I didn't get back on stage till like maybe January next year, December of that year. So basically almost a year before I got back on stage, because I'm just like, I can do stand-up later. This pussy means everything right now. I can always do stand-up, but I may not ever get this pussy again. So for that whole year, I'm pussy whipped, pussy-matized, whatever you want to call it. Right. And, you know, that shit didn't work out. Boom. And that's when I moved out. I'm just all over with this story. But, I moved in with her after about 3 months. And then, finally it came to the point where I'm like, fuck, this shit ain't gonna work. And then I finally got my own place again, December. That's when I got back on stage. I'm like, fuck, I'm not distracted by that pussy. Because that pussy is amazing and it's just fucking taking up my whole life. Right? So yeah, December, January, that's when I really got back into it, where I'm like, I'm hitting a mic at least 2-3 times a week. I have to. And then that's when January 2016, fucking February, March, April, May, June, July, motherfucker, that whole year I was hitting mics. I was getting good. I mean, I wasn't like getting great, but I'm getting better, you know. I'm seeing some progress. I'm fucking doing it, man. You know, I'm getting invited on a show or two here and there. I got a couple shows, you know. I'm getting paid. You know, I got paid like $100 that year in comedy, man. What? That's killing shit, man. I was killing shit, right? Cool. So yeah. And then fucking December of 2016, boom, boom, boom. Like, all right, I didn't really want to stay in Tampa for more than 2 years. That was like the original plan. So I'm like, fuck, all right. So should I move to, I want to move to Chicago, Atlanta, or Houston, right? And eventually it just came down to, I'm going to go ahead and move to Houston. It's affordable. Atlanta's affordable too, but I probably should have moved to Atlanta, looking back, but in Chicago, I wanted to move there too. That was like my first priority, but like I didn't like the whole fact that like having a car would cost me so much to live out there, because, you know, I need my car. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and use public transportation in fucking 12-degree weather. I'm good off that shit. Boom. So I moved to Houston in February of 2017. This year, I'm in Houston. Literally the day before the Super Bowl, which is kind of weird to do that. You know, it's a little weird to do that shit. But hey, I moved. I fucking made it happen. And now it's June 9th, 2017. That was a rough estimate of my story. I can go into more details. A lot of shit happened. But listen, if you fucking tune into this podcast, like, I'm going to do this shit once a week. I'm going to try my best to just, like, you know, dabble into those stories, go into depth on, you know, those months, those harsh weeks. It's funny because I remember everybody in 2016 was like, oh my God, 2016 is the worst year ever. Prince died. Muhammad Ali died. Fucking old dude is shooting up the gay club in Orlando. It's funny. I went to Disney World a month after that shit, so it was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, just a bunch of crazy shit happened. Pokemon Go got invented. That was fucking weird. But yeah, everybody's like, oh my God, 2016 sucks. This is the worst year ever. Meanwhile, I'm having a blast. Like, that was probably the best year I've had in a long time, 2016. You know, I was single. You know what I mean? I had no obligations to shit. I'm doing what the fuck I love doing. I'm saving money. I'm making money. Like what? Like, I'm having one night stands and shit. What the fuck? I never had one night stands, and I'm getting one night stands. Like, what? This is beautiful. I love it. But yeah, man, I don't want to make this shit too long. It's like 40 minutes, and I'm scared because last time I recorded a podcast. By the way, I did record a podcast, guys. I did, but that shit did not record on the audio, so I didn't want to upload it. And so yeah, so fuck y'all that think I'm lazy. I ain't lazy. All right, I just got pissed off and I didn't feel like recording another episode because I'm fucking petty like that, guys. All right, but it's about 40 minutes and I think it's enough rambling. I do want to get into depth on these stories because now I'm looking back. I'm like, I got a lot of stories, man. But for now, I'm gonna just go ahead and wrap this shit up. Yeah. I hope you guys tune in, man. Tune in to more shit. I'm gonna get into more details, I promise. It's just gonna be fun. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for new episodes, I'm excited for you motherfuckers to hit me up and just ask questions. Because I will answer them shits on this podcast. I'll answer it right here. I'll give you a shout out. I don't give a fuck. I ain't shit right now, so who cares? You might as well, you might as well hit me up now while I ain't shit. Because if I blow up in like 5 years, and people come back to episode 2 and they're like, oh my God, who the fuck is that guy that he just shouted out? Boom. Now you're famous too, bitch. You're famous too now. So go ahead. Come on. Get in the comments. Inbox me. DM. Hey, follow me also on all social media at Dillexander. That's Alexander with dill pickle in front. So imagine Alexander with Dill. Dillexander. All right. Follow me. I show love. And hit me up. Ask a question. I don't give a fuck. And if you followed me on Twitter recently, you probably saw that Twitter beef from yesterday, June 8th. That was fun. I'm a petty ass motherfucker. All right. That's enough talking. I appreciate you guys listening. I appreciate your attention. And I'll see you guys next week, hopefully. All right. Much love. You guys are the best.